Hey everyone, this is Mel from Cardstock Concoctions. I do apologize, it has been a couple of weeks since I put out a video, but I am back and we are going to be making today this really cool 5-sided box. And it just looks like this. And that is actually the kind of nice cool top that we've got to it. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing, we're going to set that off to the side. And I am going to be using an old stamp set, a retired stamp set called Chalk Talk. And at one point in time, I really considered getting rid of this. However, these little sayings and things like that are just amazing. And then also the Chalk Talk framelits is what we're going to be using to cut it out. So I went ahead and I grabbed the For You as well as the lovely embossed leaf stock. Actually, I wonder if it's easier to do it this way. Let's try it backwards, guys. All right, so we're gonna do the For You first. Let's see if this works. Now, I don't want my For You to be going directly up and down, so the fact that it's a little off is okay to me. And, sorry if my head gets in the camera. Let's see if that worked. I don't know. All right, that one looks much better. So we do have both of them stamped. And we are going to be using this one down here. But until then, I'm gonna let this kind of actually dry a little bit before I try to run it through my Big Shot. So we're gonna set that off to the side. Now, what are we actually going to be using cardstock wise? We're gonna build our box next. Okay. We are going to be making the box. And so you wanna grab an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, all right? If you guys are using, I believe it's A4 is what they sell, the rest of the world except for the United States, which I believe is 11.5 by 8, you are going to have to adjust your measurements just a little bit. And your Simply Scored scoring tool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and score. We're going to score at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. And that's 6 3/8, 8.5, 8.5, and we're going to do 10 5/8 of an inch. All right. So your tab is going to be a little bit smaller than the actual 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch that we normally have. It's going to be 3/8 of an inch, but there you go. Then I want you guys to rotate it 90 degrees so you have the 8.5 inch side at the top. And score at 2 1/8. Rotate it 180 degrees, so turn it all the way around. And score at 2 1/8 of an inch. Okay, that is all of our scoring. Now, fold and burnish all of your score lines. You guys can use any DSP you want, any colored cardstock. This is very versatile and it's actually a great size. It's great for teachers' gifts. I know you guys were coming up to the end of school years and things like that. Great for teachers' gifts, great for little gifts for mom or dad, depending on what color you guys make it. It's actually kind of roomy inside. It's kind of tall, so that kind of works. And last but not least, our last one. Okay. Now, the only two pieces we're actually going to remove are the top portion of the tab and this bottom portion of this 3/8 inch tab. I can talk. So just carefully go ahead, cut up to that score line, and trim off that tab. The remainder of the score lines, just go ahead and cut straight up that score line. All right, until you hit that 2/8 inch score line there. All right, and then we're also going to cut off this last tab here. All right, so this is the only removal you guys are actually doing. That's it. Everything else is done. Now comes the fun part. I'm going to place adhesive. I'm actually going to do it this way. I'm going to place adhesive right here on this tab. Now, I'm going to be using score tape, which is the same thing as tear tape. Mine's 1/4 inch. If you guys would like, you can use your fast fuse. I'm probably going to do that for the bottom portion of the box. But for this, because of the size of that tab, I just went ahead and used tear tape. It's not faster, trust me, but I went ahead and used it anyways. Now the hardest part about this is actually lining it up. Because you have 5 sides, you can't just fold over and fold over like you normally do. So you actually have to take it and you actually have to line it up. And I'm sorry if this is kind of awkward in the camera, but line it up the best you can. There, and then again at the bottom there. And then what I do is I flip it over. You guys can't really see what I'm doing on the inside here. But then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to run it all the way down that tiny little tab that we've got to ensure stick. I want my box to stick to each other. Okay, there we go. Now, at this point in time, your top and your bottom look identical. I would strongly suggest adding your DSP at this point in time. So I went ahead and I grabbed my DSP, and I forgot the name of this DSP pack, but it's, again, it's a retired DSP pack, but it's beautiful. It's very regal in my mind, and I love it. So each piece of your DSP is 1 7/8 of an inch by 4 inches tall. So 1 7/8 by 4 inches tall. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put adhesive on the back of all of these, and you're going to need 5 of these, by the way. I'm just using snail. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stick these all down. Again, I would do this now, or I would do this before you guys actually stick it together. But now worked well for me, so all right. There we go. Next one. And I'm trying to do this evenly, or as evenly as I possibly can. You can also wrap it around in belly band style. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but you can just take another piece and just literally wrap it. If you so chose, it would need to be a 12 by 12 piece of paper to get all the way around. Okay. I think I've decided that this is down here is going to be my bottom. Again, doesn't really matter. Do find the back of your box where you're, there it is. So I always want to put my back of my box in first. So this tab here is actually attached to my back of my box. This one here is attached to the back of my box, as is this one. And now I'm actually going to add some fast fuse onto these. I'm doing 2 of these because, well, let's face it, they're not all going to stick the same way. Find the shape that you want. There we go. And there we go. Maybe I should have added just a little bit in here too. All right, hang on one sec, guys. Back to putting everything back down. There we go. Okay. Now, in order to make sure everything sticks, I open it up, put my hand in there, rub it down, plenty of adhesive. You really only need to adhesive down one of them. However, I did all of them this time. So there we go. I wanted it to stick. Now, I grabbed the 1/8, 1/4 inch circle punch. I want to say it's 1/8. That sounds right. 1/8 sounds right. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to punch a hole in each one of these. Now, I try to keep them about the center and about equal distance from the top edge. It's gonna be a little too far down. There we go. And I measured that based on how far the paper goes in on this guide. I call it a guide bar. I know that's not what it actually is, but that little guide bar in there is how I judge mine. And again, if you're not 100% perfect, this project is for you because it's forgiving, which is nice. Okay. Now, I also grabbed out some Whisper White Thick Baker's Twine. I have no idea if this is a returning item or not, but I really like it. You guys can pick any ribbon that you so choose. So you guys are going to want to find whichever side you want to be the front of your box. I'm literally just going to feed. So don't go in and out. Go in, come out, go around, and then go back in from the front again. All right. I'm going to do that again with you. Oh, and before I forget, I have about 12 inches of ribbon here. That's about all you're going to need. So you always, when you're threading this through, you always want to go from the outside to the inside. If you're me, you need to twist your yarn just a little bit. All right, if I stuck some tape on this would go faster. There we go. To the inside, outside, to the inside. So now that it's all threaded, now you actually get to like pull it tight. And there is a trick to pulling it tight. One of your corners, as I'm going to show you on this one here, you have one of the corners or one of the sides of each 5 corners poking out, okay? And how you do that is you literally just kind of force it to do what you want it to do. There we go. So you guys want to kind of force it into this shape and then kind of just cinch as you go, okay? And if you guys can do that, it is really cool. Now I gotta figure out, oh, it's caught. Haha, there we go, that's why. All right. And it gives it a nice, actually really tight seal. And then I do suggest tying this in a knot before we finish the rest of this. Okay, so time to do the cutting out of our For You. So grab your Big Shot, and I promise this is really fast. I'm using the magnetic platform. And again, I'm using the Chalk Talk framelits. Again, those are retired. I'm using the large framelit to go around the whole item or the whole stamped image. There is one in here for the For You. There's a circle in there for the For You. But any image that you guys like would also work. I'm also using this little, I'm going to call it tab or opening or cutout or whatever. And I just pushed that evenly up towards the top there. And then finish my sandwich off. All right, I'm gonna run this through and be right back. Okay, I am back. So this is our cut out image. All right, we're going to rhinestones here, guys. Sorry, the pearls just don't show up. And I just cut out 3. I wanted to give it a little something extra. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and just tie it onto my box. As I said, this is great teacher's gifts. They, I mean, a perfect size for that. If you're gifting somebody, I'm going to make an actual pretty bow. There we go. Then it comes in like a little jar. I mean, again, this thing's kind of large, you know. Each one of your sides is 2 1/8 of an inch. And the main portion of your box is so. All right, and then I'm just going to trim the edges of my ribbon here. Okay, back to what I was saying. Each one of your sides is 2 1/8 of an inch. You have 4 1/4 of an inch worth of depth overall. And it is about 4 inches tall plus an extra 2/8 of an inch at the top. However, it does close, so you got probably more about 1 3/4 inches from here to the very tip, just to let you guys know. So this is my lovely 5-sided box. This is slightly larger than this one here. I changed the dimensions just a little bit. I was having us cut the paper, and that just seemed silly after a while. So, but there we go. It's our lovely 5-sided box. This is Mel from Cardstock Concoctions saying I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos like this, please go ahead and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys again next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.